Hey there, this is Mukunda Mark here at Integral Yoga with Nikki. And Nikki is the daughter of Keiko, who's one of the people here at Integral Yoga that I met years ago. And at some point she had mentioned she had a daughter, and then mentioned she had a daughter who's also mixed. I'm like, Hapa Powers!
Yay! Hapa!
So, how long has it been? I met you maybe...
Probably about. I think I met you kind of like, I'd come to the class when I was in
Right.
town and stuff, but we never really had a conversation and knew each
Bonded.
other. Bonded until probably about a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Nikki now lives in Denver.
Denver, Colorado.
And she's back in town just for a little bit. And I saw her outside on the steps. Said, "Let's go do a reading." So this is great. She was game, and we're reading from The Golden Present: Daily Inspirational Readings by Sri Swami Satchidananda, and we're in a new month,
July. The month of palm
the
trees.
month of palm trees. It's kind of cool too because we're on Dolores Street, which is lined with palm trees. The whole street of Dolores Street. All right.
It's like the book new.
So here we go. July 1st. So the topic is live like a lotus in the water. A lotus is considered to be a very holy and divine flower, not just because of its beauty, but also because of its qualities. A lotus flower grows in very shallow water, usually in a muddy area. Though it comes out of the mud and mire, it rises as a beautiful flower that lives in the water without being affected by it. The lotus flower is always given as an example for one who wants to live spiritually in the world. It is said, "Live like a lotus in the water." The lotus leaf is right in the water, but it's never moistened by the water. When you pick it up, it's completely dry. It never gets wet. If you throw a little water on it, the water will roll off and scatter around like pearls.
A person should live like the lotus, being in the world but not affected by it. You should always express your natural beauty, though you may grow in a dirty place. Nothing from outside should affect you. The lotus is a symbol of love and devotion also. If you ever see the goddesses Lakshmi or Saraswati, you should see that they are standing on a lotus. Wherever Lord Buddha placed his foot, a lotus appeared to hold it. The feet of a holy person are called the lotus feet. The lotus flower turns its head towards the sun always. That means it always turns towards the light. It receives the light constantly. So you can say it's an ever-enlightened flower. Wow. I like that a lot.
This is really nice. I often hear references of the lotus in spirituality, so this is a nice kind of breakdown of really what that's about from the mud and the mire. This beautiful thing emerges, and some of us can relate to that in our lives, where we maybe came from, some experiences that might have been painful or difficult, but then on the other side, you feel, in a way, there was purpose to it.
Yeah, you rise from it, and everybody grows from their experiences, and especially their harder, more, tougher experiences. So I understand that. That's great.
And it's funny how we'll tend to want to try to avoid them in our life because it's our nature, right? I think there's a part of our being, maybe it's the reptilian brain that's like, no, safety, preserve this being, but that we actually, not always, I guess, but a lot of the times when we come to the other side, we recognize that we are grateful that thing happened.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But sometimes we're in the middle of it, you can't get there.
No, I definitely have had experiences where when I'm in it, I'm saying, I usually believe everything happens for a reason, but I don't believe that this is happening for a reason. I don't know why this is happening to me. I'm a good person. I didn't do anything wrong. Why would this happen to me? And then, all the people that I love around me say, just give it time. You'll understand. And no, I won't. Right. And then a couple months later, I'm like, oh, all right. Yeah, this is what they were talking about. When you're in it, you might not, hindsight's 20/20 too, so yeah.
Well, even like this, the flower, I'm sure it has to go through all those stages, and it probably, I don't know if we can think of it this way, but does the flower know it's about to become a flower?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going
like
through
a caterpillar.
this. Yeah,
it doesn't know it's going to become a butterfly.
Right.
It's just like, I'm in this warm little cocoon.
This is what I'm supposed to be doing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, and we can think about some things happening in our world today that we're wondering, why are they happening?
Yeah.
There must be. And so is it possible, too, that with that there's going to be some reason and that we'll look back, hopefully in less time than more,
I know.
and see that there was, something came out of this.
Yeah. And I think that before all of this was happening, maybe we took certain things for granted. And now that these things are happening, we're not. And maybe we're trying to get more involved in the community or trying to be more empathetic or, things like that when we didn't really maybe have to do that before.
Go
So-
practice yoga. 'Cause
Yeah,
we're like,
exactly.
what do I do?
Yeah. So
But-
like learning to, take care of yourself more and that kind of thing. So
Yeah, I think that's wise. It's often said in a lot of these other readings that, rather than thinking we've made a mistake or that something happened as we may call it a problem or a stumble, that it actually could be a building block or, a piece to the puzzle
Yeah.
that actually will fit together, but sometimes it takes a while. That's what I do love about yoga and meditation. It helps, in particular, I would say in this case, meditation. It allows me to sit with the unknown and not always know what I'm going to get out of it,
Yep.
when I'm sitting in meditation, but sometimes just that commitment to showing up for it, knowing that some days I may sit down and I'm a little agitated, but afterwards I feel a little better.
Mhm.
Sometimes I sit down and I feel very peaceful, and sometimes afterwards I might feel a little overwhelmed because
Yeah.
a lot of thoughts flood in. But just staying committed to something that allows that steadiness of mind to start to become more present.
yeah, absolutely.
Is good.
My favorite excerpt is if you throw a little water over it, the water will roll off and scatter around like pearls. I think that's a really beautiful way of saying that you don't let what people do or say get to you or affect you. And I think that, now I'm going through this point where I feel like I'm switching kind of from the school world to the working world, and you really have to grow a thick skin and remember that, like, especially as like a woman in tech or in the workplace,
Mhm.
when it's dominated by men, you're like, I shouldn't care what people say, because at the end of the day, I'm doing what's right for me and I'm connecting with the people and learning what I need to learn, and I'm going to be better for that. And anything negative people have to say come from a completely different issue that has nothing to do with me, So,
Right on.
so learning to let it roll. I like letting it scatter about like pearls.
pearls, I know.
Next time someone says something to me, I'm going to be like, pearls,
Right. That'd be a code word. Keep you,
Yeah.
keep you like
Yeah,
in the clear.
just grounded. Yeah. They're going to be like, what? I'm going to be like, just pearls. Goodbye. Yeah. So I really like that.
That's beautiful.
Letting it become something beautiful.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
yeah.
Like pearls, not, like dust, but like pearls, I like that a lot.
And on that note, I hope that this has been like pearls for you all
Yeah.
watching. It's definitely been for me to have Nikki, this young woman who is so wise and beautiful. And I'm so grateful that we got to do this together. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. I loved it.
And I'll look forward to maybe another time because
Yeah.
we still got many months ahead.
Yeah.
And until then, I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
All right, bye.